There are souls walking this earth who are fundamentally different from the majority. Not better, not more valuable in God's eyes, but different in origin, different in purpose, different in destiny. These are the chosen ones, the Pneumatics, the souls with the divine spark who incarnated in this realm not by accident or karma, but by deliberate mission, to wake up, to break free, and to help others escape the Archonic prison. Jesus knew exactly who they were. He could identify them instantly. He called them sheep who hear my voice. He said they were not of this world. He told them they would be hated by the world because they threatened the system. And he gave his disciples clear signs, markers, characteristics, patterns of experience that would help chosen ones recognize themselves across all generations. The institutional church buried these signs because if chosen ones worldwide began to recognize themselves and unite, the entire control structure would collapse. The church wants believers who are dependent, obedient, uncertain of their spiritual status, not awakened warriors who know exactly who they are. Tonight, I will reveal the 12 signs Jesus taught his inner circle. These are not arbitrary characteristics. They are spiritual markers that result from having a divine spark, a fragment of the monad, incarnated in a material body within an archonic prison system. As you read through these signs, you will likely recognize yourself. And if you do, understand, you are not imagining it. You are not being prideful. You are simply remembering what you have always been. You are a chosen one, and you incarnated here for a reason. Sign 1. You have always felt different. From your earliest memories, you have felt like you do not belong here. Not in a superficial way, not just feeling weird or unpopular, but in a deep existential way that you could never quite explain. You look at other people living their lives, absorbed in careers, possessions, status, entertainment, and you feel like an anthropologist observing a foreign culture. You can participate, you can function, but you never fully feel like one of them. This is not social anxiety. This is not introversion. This is ontological alienness. You feel different because you are different. You are not from here. You are a soul from the pleroma, the divine fullness beyond this material prison, temporarily incarnated in a realm that is not your home. Jesus said it directly. If you were of the world would love you as its own. But because you are not of the world hates you. John 15:19. He was identifying the chosen ones, souls not of this world, incarnated here for a purpose, recognized by the world system as threats. The feeling of not belonging is not a problem to fix. It is confirmation of what you are.
Sign 2. You question everything. While most people accept the official narrative about religion, politics, history, science, reality itself, you cannot stop questioning. Not because you're rebellious or contrarian, but because something in you knows that the surface explanations are incomplete. You sense deeper layers. You feel the presence of hidden truth. You question authority. You question tradition. You question what you were taught in church, in school, by parents, by media. Not to be difficult, but because you are driven by an inner need for actual truth, not comfortable lies. This relentless questioning frustrates others. They call you negative, cynical, paranoid. They want you to just accept things and be happy. But you cannot, because you are a truth seeker by nature. Jesus said, "Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be opened to you." Matthew 7:7. He was speaking to the chosen ones, the souls who cannot stop seeking because they know something is hidden. The hylex, material consciousness, never question. The psychics, religious consciousness, question within safe boundaries. But the pneumatics, spiritual elect, question everything until they find truth. Your constant questioning is not a flaw. It is evidence of your divine spark refusing to accept the prison's programming.
Sign 3. You experience intense spiritual attacks. If you are a chosen one, you know what spiritual warfare feels like. Not as abstract theology, but as lived experience. You have periods of sudden, overwhelming depression with no external cause. Anxiety attacks that hit out of nowhere. Intrusive thoughts that feel foreign to your nature. Physical exhaustion despite adequate rest. Relationship conflicts that escalate irrationally. And the timing is suspicious. These attacks often come right after spiritual breakthrough, right before important decisions, right when you are gaining momentum toward awakening. This is not mental illness. This is not bad luck. This is Archonic attack. The Archons recognize chosen ones by frequency. Your divine spark emits a different vibration than ordinary human consciousness. And that vibration signals, this one is dangerous. This one might escape. Target them. Jesus warned his disciples, in the world you will have tribulation. He was preparing them for spiritual warfare, the systematic opposition they would face from the Archonic system. Most humans live relatively peaceful lives because they pose no threat to the system. But chosen ones are under constant attack because you are the souls capable of breaking free and helping others escape. Your intense spiritual battles are not evidence of God's absence. They are evidence of your importance to the liberation mission.
Sign 4. You are exhausted for no physical reason. Chosen ones are often profoundly tired. Not just physically tired, though that too, but soul tired. Energy drained in a way that sleep does not fix. You wake up exhausted. You feel like you are carrying immense weight. Simple tasks require enormous effort. You need more rest than others, but never feel fully restored. This is not laziness. This is not depression. This is energy theft. The Archons drain chosen ones more aggressively than they drain ordinary humans, because your divine spark generates higher quality energy. You are premium food source. Additionally, many chosen ones work in the spiritual realms during sleep, helping souls who have died, fighting Archonic entities, anchoring light on the planet. You wake up tired because you were working all night in dimensions you do not consciously remember. Jesus often withdrew to isolated places to rest and restore his energy. He understood that spiritual warfare is exhausting, and that chosen ones must guard their energy carefully. Your chronic exhaustion is not weakness. It is evidence that you are generating enormous energy that is either being stolen or being used for spiritual work.
Sign 5. People are drawn to you for help. Strangers tell you their problems. Friends call you in crisis. People sense something in you that makes them feel safe sharing their deepest struggles. You become an unofficial counselor, healer, guide, even if you never sought this role. People confess things to you they have never told anyone. They ask for advice. They want to be near your energy. This is because chosen ones emanate a frequency of compassion, wisdom, and spiritual authority that wounded souls recognize intuitively. You carry healing energy. Your presence alone can shift the energy in a room, and souls in pain are drawn to that light like moths to flame. But this is also draining, because people often unconsciously try to extract your energy to fill their own emptiness. They leave feeling better. You leave feeling depleted. Jesus experienced this constantly. The Gospels record that people pressed in on him, touched him, demanded his attention until he had to retreat to recharge. Your role as natural healer and guide is not burden, it is mission. But you must learn to protect your energy and set boundaries, or you will burn out serving others while neglecting your own advancement.
Sign 6. You have powerful, prophetic dreams. Chosen ones have dream lives that are not random. Your dreams are vivid, meaningful, often prophetic. You dream of places you have never been but that feel like home. You dream of people you do not know in this life but recognize deeply. You receive warnings, guidance, teaching in dreams. You have dreams where you are flying, traveling through space, accessing other dimensions. Dreams where you are fighting dark entities. Dreams where you are being taught by beings of light. These are not just dreams, they are your consciousness traveling in spiritual dimensions while your body sleeps. You are accessing information, receiving training, participating in spiritual warfare. Jesus taught his disciples through visions and spiritual experiences. Peter's vision in Acts 10 changed the entire direction of Christianity. Paul's encounter on Damascus Road was a visionary experience. The chosen ones have always received guidance through dreams and visions because the divine realm communicates most easily when the conscious mind is quiet. Your powerful dreams are not meaningless brain activity. They are evidence that your consciousness operates in multiple dimensions simultaneously.
Sign 7. Synchronicities follow you everywhere. For chosen ones, meaningful coincidences are not occasional, they are constant. You think of someone and they call. You need information and the exact book appears. You consider a question and the universe answers through a song, a conversation, a sign. Numbers repeat: 1111, 333, 444. The same symbols appear everywhere. The same themes emerge in different contexts until you cannot ignore the message. This is not confirmation bias. This is the universe communicating with you directly because you are awake enough to receive the communication. Synchronicities are breadcrumbs left by your higher self, by divine guidance, showing you that you are on the right path, that you are being led, that nothing is random. Jesus taught that the divine realm speaks to those who have ears to hear. The chosen ones have developed the sensitivity to recognize the universe's communications. Your constant synchronicities are not coincidence. They are evidence that you are being actively guided by forces beyond the material realm.
Sign 8. You feel a mission but don't know what it is. Deep inside, you know you are here for a reason. You sense a purpose, a calling, a mission, but you cannot quite define it. You feel like you are supposed to do something important, like you are preparing for something, like your entire life has been training for a role you will eventually step into. This feeling has been with you since childhood, and it creates tension because you live in a world that tells you to just get a job, make money, be comfortable. But you cannot settle into ordinary existence because you know you are meant for something more. This is mission consciousness, the awareness that you did not incarnate here randomly, but with specific purpose. Jesus knew his mission from age 12. Did you not know I must be about my Father's business? He recognized early that he was here for a purpose beyond ordinary human life. Chosen ones carry this same recognition. You may not know the details yet, but you know you are here to do something that matters, to wake up, to break free, to help others, to disrupt the system, to anchor light. Your sense of undefined mission is not delusion. It is your soul remembering why it came here.
Sign 9. You cannot tolerate lies or fake people. Chosen ones have extremely sensitive truth detectors.
You sense when people are being inauthentic, manipulative, or deceptive, even when they are good at hiding it. You cannot tolerate fake small talk, surface-level relationships, or social games. You crave depth, authenticity, real connection. And when you do not find it, you prefer solitude. This makes social situations exhausting. You feel like an alien watching humans perform scripted interactions. You want to skip the performance and connect soul to soul. But most people are not ready for that level of authenticity. You also have zero tolerance for spiritual manipulation, religious leaders who use guilt, pastors who exploit followers, teachers who prioritize money over truth. You see through the performance immediately. Jesus demonstrated this. He called out the Pharisees publicly for their hypocrisy. He overturned tables in the temple. He had no patience for religious pretense. Your inability to tolerate lies and fakeness is not social dysfunction. It is spiritual integrity. You are allergic to the false because you carry truth frequency.
Sign 10. You have experienced ego death. At some point in your journey, you have gone through profound ego dissolution, a period where everything you thought you were, your identity, your beliefs, your story, collapsed. This was not fun. It felt like death. You questioned everything. You lost your sense of self. You did not know who you were anymore. But on the other side, you emerged different, lighter, freer, less attached to false identity, more aligned with your true nature as consciousness itself. This is the dark night of the soul, a necessary death before rebirth, and it is especially intense for chosen ones, because you are being prepared for higher consciousness that cannot coexist with rigid ego structures. Jesus taught, "Unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it produces much fruit." John 12:24. He was teaching about ego death, the necessary dissolution of false self so that true divine self can emerge. Your experience of ego death was not breakdown, it was breakthrough, the death of who you thought you were, so you could become who you actually are.
Sign 11. Animals and children are drawn to you. Chosen ones have a frequency that animals and young children recognize instinctively as safe, loving, trustworthy. Dogs that are normally aggressive are calm around you. Cats that hide from everyone come to you. Wild animals approach you without fear. Babies who cry with everyone else are peaceful in your presence. Children want to be near you. This is because animals and young children are more sensitive to energy than adults. They have not been programmed to ignore their intuition. They can feel your frequency directly. And what they feel is the divine spark, the Christ consciousness emanating from you. This frequency communicates, "I am safe. I am love. I will not harm you." Jesus had this quality. Children ran to him when religious leaders tried to keep them away. He said, "Let the little children come to me, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." Matthew 19:14. He recognized that children, like chosen ones, have access to spiritual sensitivity that adults have lost through programming. Your natural connection with animals and children is not random. It is recognition of your frequency by beings who are still sensitive to truth.
Sign 12. You know that you know.
This is the final and most important sign. Somewhere deep inside, beneath all doubt, beneath all uncertainty, you know. You know you are different. You know you are here for a reason. You know you are being guided. You know this information is true. Not because someone convinced you, not because you read it in a book, but because it resonates with something you already knew but had forgotten. This is gnosis, direct spiritual knowledge that does not require external validation. You recognize truth because truth recognizes you. Jesus spoke to this when he said, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." John 10:27. The chosen ones hear the frequency of truth. They recognize it immediately. They know, not through belief, but through direct inner knowing. If you are reading this and something in you is saying, "Yes, this is me, I recognize this," that inner knowing is the ultimate sign. You are not imagining it. You are not being prideful. You are simply recognizing what you have always been. You are a chosen one. What to do with this recognition? If you recognize yourself in these signs, understand three things. First, you are not alone. There are millions of chosen ones worldwide, all waking up simultaneously in this era. You are part of a collective awakening. Second, you have a mission. You incarnated here to wake up fully, to break free from the Archonic system, to help other souls who are ready, and to anchor higher consciousness on the planet. Third, your recognition is the beginning, not the end. Now that you know what you are, the real work begins. Raising your frequency, reclaiming your sovereignty, completing your spiritual development, preparing for conscious exit. Jesus told his chosen ones, "You are the light of the world. Let your light shine before others." Matthew 5:14-16. He was commissioning them and you to stop hiding, to stop doubting, to stop playing small. You are a divine spark incarnated in a prison realm. You are a fragment of God experiencing itself through temporary limitation. You are a chosen one called to wake up and help free others. The 12 signs are not test. They are confirmation of what your soul already knows. Now the question is, what will you do with this knowledge? The Archons want you to doubt yourself, to feel unworthy, to believe you are imagining things. But Jesus said, "You are chosen. You are not of this world. You will do even greater works than I did." He was telling you the truth about what you are, and now you know.